Hi guys, welcome back to For the Love of Nutrition. Today I'm going to share with you a few tips for weekly meal planning so you can eat healthy, save money, and reduce food waste. The first step to weekly meal planning is sitting down to make a plan. I know this sounds like a tedious task, but I promise it only takes about 20 minutes or so up front and it will save you so much time as the week goes on. All it takes is having something handy to write your grocery list on, as well as your favorite recipe books or websites handy for inspiration. As you're planning, keep storage in mind. Most cooked foods will keep for about 5 days in the refrigerator. See my note in the description, however, if you are immunocompromised. If you're the type of person or family who doesn't mind or gets excited to eat the same thing 5 days in a row, well, great. Then all you have to do is double or triple your recipe. But if you're like most people, you're gonna want some variety. So plan to make a couple of meals, that way you can either alternate or switch midweek. You may still want to plan to double or triple your recipe, especially if you're not just 1 or 2 people. Doubling the recipe takes very little extra time, but once you throw those leftovers in the freezer, you now have another ready-made meal to grab. The next most important tip is to reuse and reimagine ingredients. This will make shopping as well as meal prep so much easier. You'll also be a lot less likely to throw out foods you don't use. So when thinking about recipes for the week, choose those that have ingredient overlap. Certain ingredients like a head of cauliflower or a bunch of fresh herbs, celery, or kale come in larger quantities, so plan to reuse those in more than one recipe. For example, my dinner plan for this week is to make a Tuscan kale ribollita as well as a sweet potato kale tahini dish. I'll plan to make 3 days worth of the sweet potato dish and 4 days worth of the soup dish. That will get us through the week. Since soup tends to freeze really well, I'll plan to freeze the ribollita and pull that out midweek when we're finishing up the sweet potato dish. When I picked out these recipes, I knew in my head I would plan to reuse ingredients like the kale, carrots, celery, onions, and sweet potatoes. This shortens up my grocery list and makes it much easier to prepare multiple dishes at the same time. I also decided it would be smart to grab a bag of split peas or lentils at the store because I knew I'd have a lot of the ingredients I'd need already on hand. If we ran short on time and couldn't get to the store, I knew throwing together a split pea or lentil soup would be a snap. Since I know the ribollita calls for a crusty loaf of bread such as ciabatta, this isn't something I normally have on hand. But I do plan to make some egg sandwiches this week. So I added whole wheat English muffins to my list, knowing these could double for my ribollita recipe. I also knew I wanted to add some cauliflower to my kale tahini sweet potato dish. So, while planning, I'm going to throw some hummus on my grocery list to pack extra cauliflower with hummus for lunches this week. So just like that, our grocery list is short and sweet and coming together. We not only have a plan for dinners this week, but also some breakfasts and lunch as well. My next tip is to designate a meal prep time or day. Try to get in a routine of setting aside this time to get the bulk of your meal cooking done for the week. Sunday happens to be my designated meal prep day. We know weeknights can get a little crazy, so set yourself up for success by choosing a time of the week when you tend to have fewer commitments. Now, join me as I show you how easily my Tuscan ribollita and sweet potato kale tahini dish come together. Once I have all of my ingredients prepped for each dish and lined up, ready to go, it's super easy to multitask. We can throw both these dishes together and watch them go. I hope these meal prep tips help you and your family to eat healthy while saving time, money, and energy. Because we all know less time in the kitchen means more time for cuddles.